woman with feeling in a cheek who has learned to play the gongs to a very high standard.
Right, welcome to the Guildford Fringe Festival in its G-Live manifestation in Cannes. I see Louise in there, hello. Louise has been the lovely, with the carols, has been the big hit of the festival altogether. She's packed out the star, and not only is she packed out the star, but she's going to do it all over again on when? Friday? Yeah? You've heard it from her very much. Yeah.
Hey!
There's a man, casually, leaning on the bar, as if it nothing to do with it. He's got everything to do with it altogether. That chap over there, in the shadows, is Mr. Nick Wyschna. And he is Mr. Fringe Festival himself. There ain't nobody like him. We're here because he's here, because he made us here. We have done many things for the Fringe. We've done the Keystone Slam, we've done the Bar of the Art, we've done the Poetry Brothel. Oh, that was a bit of a hard to deal with. I had to get dressed up in a dress. The first time I get a chance to be a lady, just in order to read poems. I discovered that high heels are a killer. Bra straps always fall down on the left-hand side. When ladies bat their eyes at you, they're not batting their eyes at you, they're just trying to separate the lashes like that. I'm going to start off with a poem called The Pursuit of Happiness, as it says in the Declaration of the United States. I was amazed to find out that the phrase, the pursuit of happiness, actually was originally the pursuit of property. And then they thought, let's cross that out and put happiness there. So this is called The Pursuit of Happiness. I and Jan just got fed up one day and we decided that we would break away. And I wrote this poem in praise of us breaking away. We declare this our bedroom an independent dominion. We succeed from the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth of Nations, although still enjoying our European Union. Aren't we, John? Us, a republic of love. We, this nation of two, out on our own, our newfound land, as Dónall had done. A currency of kisses, our national tongue, caresses. Should be the other way around. Needing nothing but the other to complete our independence, flying the flag of happiness in this, our brave new world of love. I always try to write poems where the last line is kiss Janice. Fine. I was once Ireland's first poet in residence in a secondary school for my trouble. And one day they lent me out to the Boy Scouts in the morning, so I had to drastically change my set for 9 and 10-year-olds. And in the afternoon they had me in an old folks home. And in the old folks home, I did poems about love and life and relationships, about making love to night dresses, all that. And I didn't know whether the little ladies were going to be able to deal with it. They said, oh yes dear, we've been in and out of night dresses many times in our life, preferably out. And they all started telling me about their love life. And the sad thing was they had better love lives than I had. And they told me about ephemera, like skinny dipping in the South China Sea, just missing the fall of Singapore. Oh, and Mabel's first kiss. So Mabel was a lovely lady with silver white hair who had a terrible habit of actually tossing her hair like so to emphasize a point. For the purpose of this poem, you're going to have to pretend that I am Mabel. The poem is called Well Kiss My Popliteal Fossa. Does anybody know where the Popliteal Fossa is? A volunteer from the audience. You! When I was in the army, that's how they used to make us volunteer. Don't be frightened by the bright lights. Right, I've never worked with you before, Anna. What is your name, Anna?
Anna.
Anna, all right, I figure it's all right. Do you know where your Popliteal Fossa is, Anna?
No.
No. Have you, I know this is a personal question, have you ever been kissed, to your knowledge, on your Popliteal Fossa? Take your time.
That is a very personal question. But
It is.
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. Right. Can you stand just here in front of the audience, please? Can you pull your skirt just above the knees? Now, I need to see something. Right. Anna is now overtly displaying her patellas here and here, which, as you can see, are commonly known as the knees. All right? Anna, forget this lot. Just turn your back on them. Anna is now blatantly displaying her popliteal fossas, which are the back of the knees, here and here. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for the loan of your anatomy. I never heard the term popliteal fossa, and when Mabel told me about it, I never forgot. I'll be asking questions that you won't get out unless you're able to tell me where your popliteal fossas are, so pay attention, children. This is called "Well, Kiss My Popliteal Fossa." I remember the golden tassels of my dress touching the back of my knees as I was kissed for the very first time, bent over in a clinch, as if he were statuary. The tassels touch exquisite in itself, much more sensual than the actual awkward kiss, as I wondered, his tongue dancing with my tonsils, if there was a name for that sort of thing. The back of the knees, I mean. Okay, Freddie, I commanded, seeing as I seem to be in command here. That's quite enough of that. Shattered, he reluctantly took his tongue out of my cheek. Cheeky bugger, I thought. Should never have let him go that far. Crestfallen, he stammered a sorry. "You won't tell my mother, will you?" Hid his erection with his topper. I went in at once and asked of father, "Father, is there a name for the back of the knees?" "Of course there is, my love. It's your popliteal fossa." I tingled to my toes, having discovered my first erogenous zone and knowing that one day I would become a doctor. This poem is called "I Am Infinitas." Infinitas is the Latin for infinity. I was teaching my little girl her numbers and her letters with little wooden blocks, like so, and a pea shooter. And I would tell her, "Hit me an O," and she'd shoot and knock over an O with the pea shooter. Which is easier said than done because the P tends to go right through the centre of the O. And I thought this was a novel way of teaching her letters. And Thomas Moore, I found, taught his daughters in exactly the same way, only by the means of archery. So hit me and O. She was a very eager little girl. I was watching the end of Spartacus, and it got to the climatic scene where everyone was going, "I'm Spartacus, no, I'm Spartacus, I'm Spartacus, and so is my wife." And she curled up into me like a little question mark, and then she ran around the house saying, "I'm spark plugs, no, I'm spark plugs," because that's what she heard. So this is called "I Am Infinitas." Here is our wooden O. It is yellow. It is our 0. There is a 7, but it is missing. The puppy's chewing an orange too. "Puppy, puppy, no!" The admonished puppy looks astonished. "This is a good chew, this orange too," it whimpers. She herself is 4 and a little bit more. "When will I be this one?" "That's an 8, I tell her. "It'll take you 4 more years of being you to be it." The 8 has fallen on its side asleep, becoming an infinity. Ah, infinitas. My little infant, this is what you really are. This unboundedness of you, an infinity of you. Always after, when asked what age she is, she'll always answer with a hearty laugh, "I am infinitas." When I first came to Londinium back in 86, one of the first people I met was a rather rotund vicar. When I say rather rotund vicar, I mean obsessively fat vicar. When I say obsessively fat vicar, I mean the Mitchell and Man bib come to life in the flesh. And the curious thing about my vicar was that he didn't like being a vicar. And I said, "Why did you become a vicar then?" And he said, "Because I'm a damn good actor." and I play a damn good vicar, if I have to say so myself. And I play a better vicar than many a real vicar. And I thought, right. And then I asked him the question, he had this beautiful garden, he'd fallen in love with his roses. And I asked him, how does your garden grow? And he told me. This is called the nurture of culture. This is wrote for the Guildford Shakespearean Company. We were down in St. Mary's listening to a read-through of Pericles. And the lines from Pericles came out, and I thought, where have I heard those lines before? Hence the poem got written. Have you a working pulse? He asked of his petunias. He went away cold as a snowball, he tells his gladiolus. They positively beam at him. Oh yes, he pontificates. Flowers like Shakespeare best, especially Pericles and other minor plays, rather than the Great Dane or, say, Othello. The herbs prefer Gilbert and Sullivan. Really? Poor wandering one, though you are lost and lonely. No, no, my son, spoken, not sung. Sorry. Oh, I sometimes dash it all, a little dash of no coward. What compulsion compels them, and who the hell tells them? No, no, my son, spoken, not sung. What compulsion compels them? Who the hell tells them? What could I say? His voice produced such a fecundity, such a fertility, that his word could not be doubted. Oh yes, plants like to be spoken to, but prefer a little culture. Thank you. This is called I Feel Pretty. Oh, so pretty. When I'm tired, I get that oddly sort of voice in me like that. My little girl, we were a very naked family. Mom, Dad, and little girl went around the nip and thought no more of it. In the morning, early morning, Tilly would invariably bomb into our bed, and we were just a cuddle of male and female flesh at that stage. And she'd invariably land on my wife's left breast or on the more private part of me. Andy, have you ever had your privates trampled upon at 4 o'clock? Yes. Hurts, doesn't it? You wake up sharpish, don't you, Andy? I'm sorry I jumped on your privates with it. So that's got nothing to do with this poem. This poem is another time when Tilly is going to come in and wake us up. We've been to a cocktail party, darling, and Tilly doesn't realise this, and we're very distressed and afraid, and Tilly is going to come and wake us up yet again. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. I wake, covered in glorious glitter, smelling strongly of PVA glue, sticking to my cheek, very hung over, and covered in blue, orange, yellow, red feathers. A bubble recently blown, perched upon my nose. I still have comatose. Tiny bubbles travel amongst my curls, as through a bigger bubble brightly, nestling neatly over my right eye. I observe my little girl purse her lips and kiss more bubbles into being. Tilly! I force my lips, still frozen in sleep, to somehow speak. What you do? Even my syntax and sentence structuring is shot. She smiles sweetly. I'm pitying you. It was a week to go. I had to have my dissertation in and 3 essays in. And I broke up with my girlfriend, and the world went away. And I used to sit in a white room and cry at the white walls from morning to night. The only thing that changed was the sun would come in the morning, go across, go down, and be back into night and then into morning. I was in bits. This was down in Brixton, and I was trying to do my Shakespeare at the same time as being in bits and putting my dissertation and all that. And a car pulled up at the lights, and it was playing Grandmaster Melly and the Furious Flash like it was at a concert. And it sort of crossbred with my Shakespeare. And the car said, "Don't
push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle in here. Sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under. Say what? It's like a jungle in here. Sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under, Andy. And that was exactly the state of mind that I was in. This is called Yo, the Food of Love, bro. I sample her smile, just the basic riff of it. Scatter the first few notes of her laughter across a backbeat and transpose it to a string thing. Then the synths come in and the drums kick in and I remix her and remix her. Okay, Yo Memory, my main man, play her back to me for the 1000th time. And Memory gives her back to me. Like a hologram on the Star Trek deck, I have her and I have her not. Yo bro, no more. 'Tis not as sweet now as it was before. When that I was and it rained every day. Thank you. And he made me a poet with my Uncle Michael because he taught me how to see the world as it was and it wasn't simultaneously at the one and the same time. He was a delight of my childhood, he was a treasure trove. And these are just some of the things he used to say. This poem is called A Thin Slice of Ham in the Hand is Better Than a Fat Pig in a Dream. Never, you listening, Louise? Never, if I catch you doing this after this poem, you know, there'll be ructions. I better just say it to you then. Never bolt your door, you listen, Louise, with a boiled carrot. You got that?
Yeah.
Good. As Uncle would say, with a wink, tongue in cheek, it didn't make any sense, as our door was always open. We never knew it locked. And I liked my carrots raw and stolen, plucked from my father's little plot. He perplexed by little human rabbits, his mud-caked boots standing amazed as we hid, holding our breaths amongst the flowering curd pinks. But poets and pigs are only appreciated after their death, as they say, whoever they were. But as I always say, don't be after breaking your shin on a stool that isn't there. Thank you. Right, I shall get rid of me by doing haiku. This haiku is called New Dog, Old Tricks. It was Tilly's 3rd year of being herself, and we had 40 little peers around to prove this fact. And they're all going absolutely bonkers in another room, and I thought, I'm going to have to go in there and see what the hell they're doing. And as I approached the door, the sound cut like a cicada, just like, and now the silence frightened me. And now I thought, I really have to go in there and find out why they've stopped making noise. And as I reached for the handle, the door suddenly opened, hit me in the face, and I was trampled to death by 40 little kids, basically saying this haiku. It's called New Dog, Old Tricks. The dog's in the loo! We was teaching him to pee! And he just fell in. Thank you. If you ever have seen a little Yorkie trying to struggle out of a toilet bowl, you'd know that he looked nothing like Mr. Steve Pottinger. Who is our next poet? Who is the bane, the scourge of Cafe Nero? Both played.